Nerdlings! If you're new here, my name is Nikki. Welcome to my channel where we get nerdy. I have a spreadsheet here with my series that I have ongoing / I want to start in 2023. And one of these, just one of these, is on the risk of being on the chopping block. At this moment. That might change. First, I'm going to put, if it's a duology, I'm going to try and fit both books here. If it's not, I'm going to try and fit as many as I can. First, I have the Keeper of Night and Empress of Time by Kylie Lee Baker. This is about Ren Scarborough, who is half Shinigami, half Reaper, and she's from London. She was raised in London. Her dad is English. Her mom is Japanese, and she's running away from London to Japan, but then once she's in Japan, trouble follows her. Definitely it's one of those morally gray characters that you're not quite sure if you want to root for them, but you end up rooting for them kind of thing. So, next, we have The Locked Tomb by Tamsin Muir. So this consists of Gideon the Ninth, Harrow the Ninth, Nona the Ninth, and Alecto the Ninth. And then there's some short stories in between. I don't know the names of them, but this is the main series. The best way to describe it is lesbian necromancers in space. Alecto the Ninth is not out yet, but it's coming out, I want to say, around November-ish of this year. Next, we have The Shadow Children by Margaret Peterson Haddix. I started this one in January. For reading through my own TBR. The books are short, but they're dark for middle grade. But I'm enjoying that. I've enjoyed the one I've read so far. Alright. I'm losing track on my spreadsheet of where I am. Next, we have The Kane Chronicles by Rick Riordan. This consists of The Sword of Summer, The Throne of Fire, and The Serpent's Shadow. Those might not be in order, but those are the titles. You have two kids that, I don't know how to explain it without giving away spoilers. They're magicians, and like all Rick Riordan books, there's a mythology element. This one is Egyptian. I can't really explain. I'm really bad at explaining this, definitely without spoiling it. So, there it is. I've got books 1 and 2 down. Book 3 is on deck. Alright. Now, this is the series that could be getting chopped. And that is The Bromance Book Club by Lysa K. Adams. I own, where are they? I own the first 4. The first book I read, absolutely loved it. 5-star. It actually made me want to read romance, and I'm not a romance reader. Second book, tanked. It had so much potential with the couple, but it wasn't executed properly, in my opinion. Take with that what you will, but that's my opinion. I didn't appreciate it. There was definitely a heavier topic, conflict in this one than there was previous ones, but I still have I still own book 3 and book 4, and then there's a book 5. Unless I get it on my TBR game or I pull it out of the jar, this is a series that I'm not going to be just instantly grabbing. Next, we have Empire of the Vampire, which I'm technically caught up because the second book is in editing phases. So, I mean, I'm caught up, but at the same time, I think it's set to have 3 books total. I don't know if Mr. Kristoff plans on changing his mind or not, but that's as of right now. Next, we have Disney's Twisted Tales. Granted, that's a bunch of standalones. You don't have to read one to read the other, but they're still, like, you can buy them in box sets and whatnot, so I'm going to count them as a series. I have read the Mulan, the Hercules, the Beauty and the Beast, and Tiana's stories so far. So I've read 4 out of, I don't know how many. There's a lot more than what's on my thing, I swear. Hold on. There's 13 books. I've read 4. So, the Disney Twisted Tales, it takes one of the princesses or someone in the Disney world, takes that story and gives it a twist. So, for example, in Mulan, what if Mulan had to go to the underworld to save Captain Li Shang? Tiana's is what if Tiana made a deal with the Shadow Man? Beauty and the Beasts was what if Belle's mother is the one that cursed the beast? And then the Hercules one was Megara, or Meg, got a quest from the gods for her to join Hercules on Olympus. So that's that. They're interesting. Some of them I'm rushing more to pick up than others. Next, we have another Disney set, and it's the Disney Villains by Serena Valentino. They're kind of short books. Like, they're not much more than, 200 to 300 pages. These are taking a look at the story from the villain's perspective. As of right now, there's, I believe, 10 books in the series. Next, we have Middle Earth. I started it last year with reading The Hobbit. I own the trilogy. I own the Silmarillion. I own one of the other ones. And technically I own more because my stepfather-in-law gave Nikolai almost the full set from when he was younger. But those are Nikolai's, and they're very sentimental to Nick. So I don't want to read them because they're kind of falling apart. So those being sentimental to Nick, I'm buying my own mass market paperbacks for me to read, annotate, break the spines, do all the stuff I want. So I do want to continue with that. I'm hesitant because I'm intimidated, but I want to continue. Next, we have The Blood of Stars by Elizabeth Lim. This is a duology, Spin the Dawn, Unravel the Dusk. This is, I got it right here. Okay, yeah. This is like a loosely based Mulan retelling. A girl goes to the court. Like, her family is from a bunch of tailors, and dressmakers or whatever. And she goes to a competition, and it only can be men, so she dresses as a man. So there's that. Next is The Band by Nicholas Eames, with Kings of the Wild, and I want to say this I can't remember the second one, but it will be up here. This is about a group of mercenaries that come together one last time for one last mission. And I saw a interview with the author that made me want to pick it up. Next, we have Bladesmith duology. At least I think it's just a duology from Trisha Levenseller. This is, I haven't read them, but we do know that Trisha Levenseller is one of my favorite authors. Like, I have read Daughter of the Pirate King, Daughter of the Siren Queen. I've read quite a bit of her work, and I read them fast. So this is about a young girl who is a blacksmith with social anxiety. It's the easiest way to describe it. Next, we have The Endangereds by Philippe Costeau and Austin Aslin. This is about a group of animals. We have a polar bear, a pangolin, an orangutan, and something else that work together to try and save endangered animals. That's basically it. Is it an orangutan or is it I think it's an orangutan, not a baboon. It might be a chimp. There is something of the primate species, a pangolin, a polar bear, and I want to say something else, that are working together to save animals. Next, we have Discworld City Watch. City Watch in particular. I know Discworld has like 40 some books, but I'm starting with Guards, and that's the the City Watch chunk of Discworld. I don't know anything about it. It's like Alan from the Library of Alexandria rants about it all the time, about how fantastic it is, so I figured, why not give it a try? Then we have Night Spinner by Addie Thorley, and the sequel that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. But this is one of the only Hunchback of Notre Dame retellings I have been able to find. There's one other that I've already read, and it's called Chemistry. And then there's Night Spinner, and I think that's it. Those are the only two Hunchback of Notre Dame retellings I've been able to find. Hunchback of Notre Dame was my favorite movie as a little kid. I wore out 2 VHSs of it, watching it over and over and over. So, yeah. Next, we have Book of the Ancestor by Mark Lawrence. We have, it's right here. Right? Is that the name of the series? I think so. I hope so. It's the Red Sister, the Gray Sister, and something else. But it's this. Well, you see it right there. I just can't think of the last one's name. Something about nuns being really efficient assassins. I don't know much. I don't like knowing much about books before I go into them because I don't want to spoil myself. And I don't want to have my expectations up here and the book hit here. So, we go in blind. And lastly, we have Valkyrie by Kate O'Hearn. I don't know anything about this book. I picked it up at Barnes & Noble because it was on sale like years ago, and I liked the cover. That's it. That's all I know about it. Wow. So that makes 17 series that I have going or want to start this year. And maybe, if I work it out right, we'll be able to finish some this year. So that's what I got. Remember, until next time, you are loved and you are valid.